All praises to the Most High and His begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Now, I'm just going to talk about this situation which happened on the 22nd of January last month, 2020. In Lawton, Oklahoma, Richard Smith is charged with murder in the first degree, domestic abuse, and reckless conduct with a firearm. According to court documents, Smith shot Angel Connor with a 9mm Beretta after beating her. Police were called to a shots fired call at the apartment complex just before 3 a.m. on Saturday. You know, that witching hour. Officers say they saw Smith running away from the scene. He was taken into custody at gunpoint. Connor was found shot outside the building. She later passed away during surgery. Now, condolences to the family, but, there's clearly reasons why this happened. I wouldn't say all parties are blameless in the situation, but, the guy shouldn't have resorted to this. It's off. Yeah, it's off, I'll just say that, but, let's just look into what happened.
A man has now been charged for killing a soldier stationed at Fort Sill. Richard Smith is charged with first-degree murder, domestic abuse, assault and battery, and reckless conduct with a firearm. It happened last Saturday at an apartment complex on Southwest 52nd Street in Lawton. He's accused of killing Angel Connor, who was stationed at Fort Sill. Smith reportedly told investigators it started as a domestic argument before Connor punched him and pulled a knife on him.
That's when they say Smith pulled out a gun and shot her. She later died during surgery. Investigators say an officer heard 2 shots coming from the apartment complex, and when he got there, he heard 3 more and saw Smith running with a gun in his hand. He then had to force him to the ground. Smith's bond has been set at $2 million.
She's a very pretty woman, but let's look into this a little bit more. Now, one of her friends have posted this. This was reposted from Facebook, and it says here, "Our hearts are heavy as we mourn the loss of our very own Angel Connor, Bishop Jacqueline Gordon, and the new Shiloh Christian Center family hold the entire Connor family in our prayers. All services will be announced at a later date." Now, clearly she didn't have the covering of the Most High if she's in New Shiloh Christian Center. You know what I mean? Doing that off stuff, that do as you will Christianity. That satanic Christianity. I just go through this, see her doing the ice grill, flexing. You can see with the haughtiness of a woman shall be known by her eyelids. She out here all caked up. She's a very pretty woman, obviously. But you can see a tattoo here. But she's Christian, right? So why she got a tattoo? She's Christian. It says not to put any ink or markings for the dead on your skin. This soft ass guy. She's clearly a very beautiful woman, but you can clearly tell she was in that, that Jezebel spirit with her friend here. And as a quote unquote friend says, "What a strange moment. I have been numb, up and down all weekend, smiling and crying, then just numb. We lost Angel Connor, extremely close family friend, my little sister's best friend for over a decade, to gun violence. She was shot and killed in her home multiple times over some foolishness by a man she knew. No matter what it was about, there was no excuse for this. I am so sick. She was a mother, sister, and friend. I can't even believe what her family must be feeling. This just can't be real. She was so close that even our extended family treated her as one of our own. I've never lost someone to this close to me from violence. I'm so tired of having this gun conversation, and I'm crying while I'm typing. So I just want to end this and say that I love you so much, Connor, and I believe you're not gonna be here anymore. And I cannot believe you're not gonna be here anymore. But we will continue to honor you through your beautiful family and child." Child? Where's our husband? For you to have a child, you must have a husband, right? You always told me how proud you were of me, and I had so much more to show you. I'm gonna make sure to keep holding it down for you and my little sister. Love you forever. I will celebrate you. Now, no one's really gonna talk about it, but clearly the dude that shot her must have been an ex and got into his feelings, and we're gonna get into that later. And if you see her friend, I'm not really gonna go into this too much, but you know, damn near half naked on here. That's just off. I shouldn't be seeing this. That's for your husband, your actual husband, not for random dude's eyes. You know, and go into this very surreal scene. Father torture salute my best friend. We try something I'll never forget. It was one of the main reasons she was in the military. So her father is telling her friend to join the military. See, Jake is just all the way off. You're telling your females to join the military. Why are they in the military? A woman's not supposed to put on the garment of a man, and a man isn't supposed to put on the garment of a woman. Women aren't supposed to go to war. If she was such a soldier, how come some random ass crackhead shot her dead? Some dude that she was probably having sex with, even though she had a child, by another man. Clearly it's by another man, because they would have said the father of her child shot her. So she was just off doing all kinds of stuff. But no one's gonna call out their behavior. They're just gonna talk about how good she was. She was good by the standards of this world. All this off stuff. What's she doing? She looks like a man. She looks like a pretty man. Just off. That's probably her child right here. Now he don't have no mum, because his mum, look at that. You can just tell what spirit she has just by her continence. As I say, you can tell a person by the continence. Just off. But we're just gonna get rid of that. We're just gonna go into the scriptures. For Proverbs 6:34, for jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. We don't know what happened, but it's very likely that the dude had some kind of sexual relationship with her, and she probably moved on, and he was pissed and he felt possessive over her, because jealousy is the rage of a man. When you're with a woman, you feel like she is your possession, and you can't stand the thought of another man being with her. Hence why you resorted to this action. This is why you can't be dealing with women in this society like they're yours. They're not yours. As the saying goes, she's not yours. It's just your turn. And we're going to go into Matthew 19:9. And I say unto you, whoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marry her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. What it's basically saying is, if you put your wife away, and then you go and marry another woman, you're committing adultery. And if you're the woman who leaves her husband and goes to another man, you're committing adultery. We're supposed to do better than this. And I'm guilty of this as well. I'm not going to go into what I'm guilty of, but I'm guilty of adultery as well. Maybe not as much as some people, but I still am, because in this society you can't help but commit. Everything you do is adultery for the most part. Every time you're with a woman, you commit adultery for the most part, unless you're lucky enough to have a fresh woman, which most of these women ain't. They come with a whole bunch of baggage and create situations which they're with so many men, they're dealing with so much drama, they're bringing all this energy from different dudes, that things like this happen. In the kingdom, you're not going to have problems like this, because you're going to live in order. You're having problems like this because it's not in order. You could just leave your man and just go to another man. And if you know what love is, clearly you would have been with one man instead of different men. You don't know what love is. Love is following the law. We're going to go into this final scripture here. Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thy backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, and man shall compass a man. A woman shall go round about a man. A woman shall be above a man. And you can see her in a military garment. She's basically she's above a man financially. She could probably look up. You saw where she lived. It was a real swanky place. She's probably holding it down more than her baby dad or any other exes, because they're allowing women to do things like join the military and do all of this stuff that they really have no business doing.